Welcome back. Your time is 5:14, and this is the scene this morning down in Goose Pond in Scottsboro, Alabama. The rain's still coming down, leading to a lot of wet road conditions here across the Tennessee Valley. Now, fortunately, we're not dealing with any severe weather, but the rain will continue for the next couple of hours, and then we're eventually going to get some sunshine back in the forecast. So by the time we wrap this show up at 7 o'clock, a lot of this is going to be out of here, but we still have some steady rain across North Georgia, in and around Dalton, up through Cleveland and Athens. In fact, some pretty heavy rain moving along 75 just north of Cleveland and south of Athens. So no matter where you're traveling out, there's going to be some wet roads. So give yourself a little extra time. Of course, we need the rain. It's been dry. Some areas picking up about a half of an inch to up to an inch along the Cumberland Plateau. And of course, with that fire breaking out in Sequatchie County, rain is certainly a good thing this morning, but it is going to end. And after this morning, we're not looking at another rain chance until at least Sunday. So dry air going to melt back in. High pressure going to dominate our weather for much of the week, and temperatures are going to be warm. In fact, we're stepping out to mild temperatures in the 50s area wide. Later today, we're going to climb into the upper 60s to maybe lower 70s, reaching 64 in Blue Ridge, 66 in Athens, and 62 in Altamont. So as we track out the rest of your Monday, again, after showers in this morning, we're going to have clearing skies. Sunshine returns, a nice breeze out of the northwest, and the rest of the day looking pretty good. We do have a weak disturbance that comes through later on, could bring some cloud cover, showing some light rain, but I don't think we're going to see any more rain today after this morning. And then going into your Tuesday, a mix of sun and clouds for much of the day, and things are looking nice and dry. And really, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all the way through next weekend, it looks like we're going to stay relatively dry with the exception of Sunday. It's going to be our next chance of seeing some showers and storms here, but we have been dry, and that's a big reason we've been dealing with some of these wildfires, not only here in the Tennessee Valley, but across much of the southeast. Moderately dry conditions still expanded all the way across western North Carolina, southeast Tennessee, and parts of North Georgia. And yesterday we had the fire break out, actually several fires across Sequatchie County, and the one that's still going is the Dawes Mountain Road fire, and it's burned over 450, approaching 500 acres now, and it's 50% contained. So some of that rain has helped things, but there is the chance that it flares back up a little bit this afternoon. Hopefully not, but with that smoke still out there, again, even as the fire starts to go out, you're going to have some of that smoldering, and Futurecast smoke still showing that fire just south of Dunlap, spreading some of that smoke across Hamilton and parts of Bradley, Whitfield, and as far south as Murray and Gilmer County. So we'll have to keep an eye on that throughout the day. If you see or smell some smoke, that's why we do have some of those fires going on to our north here in Chattanooga. Here's a look at your next 7 days. Generally going to be in the 70s, climbing to around 80 by Friday. So spring-like weather on the way all week long, and that trend continues through the end of the month and through that first week of April. So it looks like there could be more 80-degree days in our near future. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 20% chance of a shower between now and about, we'll call it 7 a.m. And then the rest of the day, we're going to start to dry out. So we're clearing out today. Yeah, we'll have another hour or so of rain, but the rest of the week is looking pretty quiet here across the Tennessee Valley, then climbing into the lower 80s by Friday with a couple of showers around for the weekend, Michelle.
All right, so not a washout of a day.
No, actually, by this afternoon, you wouldn't even know it rained. We're going to have some sunshine, and that's going to set the tone for the rest of the week.
All right, that's good news. Thank you, Clay.